It's happy hour at the Banter Bar. I'm Shane, here with my good friend, Masa Lopez.
Yes, sir.
Let's get into it. So I think I want to start on my side.
Okay.
Just because I'd rather hit you with something you might hate right at the beginning
Okay.
than hit you with it at the end.
All right. However you want to do it, man. Let's rock.
You ever had an IPA?
No.
No?
Not sure what that is, to be honest.
All right. So one of the most beers is just malt, right?
Yeah.
Like cereal bread type malts is what you're getting. IPA, they use the other thing that preserves the beer called hops.
Yeah.
It's like a cousin of marijuana. It tastes skunky, real funky. It's like an oil. IPA's got a ton of that shit.
Is that what you taste like in like a Corona?
Kinda.
You know, I don't know. I've always got like a skunky smell or something when you drink a Corona.
Yeah, no, for real, it's there. Yeah. It's just gonna be pungent here.
Yeah.
So there's a difference between like smelling a skunk that's been dead for a week about a mile away. That's drinking your Corona.
Okay.
This motherfucker gonna be like you ran right up on a dead ass skunk, died. It's Lakewood's Goddess Hazy India Pale Ale, and I gotta say the ABV is 6.7%. It's almost 7%.
So is it like fruity? It's got like a certain flavor, pomegranate?
Depends
or
on
something. I'm not big on pomegranate.
The kind of hops.
Okay.
And it may have actually said that it was flavored there with something. I don't know. It looks right. Like it's got a...
Yeah, like a berry or something. I don't know.
Let's see. Benefits. No, it says it pairs well with fried chicken, English cheddar, and pink boots. I'm telling you, man. The pink boots. Some of the shit they write on these cans.
Okay, because?
Yeah.
Okay.
All you want to. It does smell fruity. I don't know that it tastes fruity.
It doesn't really taste fruity. It's not bad. It tastes like it gave me like a apple type beer.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Something like that. That's the kind of flavor hint or something that I'm getting. They don't smell too bad. Like they don't taste too bad.
I already have hope for you as a beer drinker. There's not many people that try an IPA and say apple. Like I get that.
Yeah.
Because there's definitely apple notes here, which you don't typically get in an IPA, to be fair. But you still get a shit ton of hop oil here. You want some more?
Yeah, I'll take some more. I drink it all. I drink it like a shot. It's not bad. It's not something I would go to.
Yeah.
But just trying it, it's not too bad. But I did get like an apple flavor or something.
Mm-hmm. English cheddar, I think, is probably the thing there that it talks about pairing well with.
I don't know. It's kind of weird.
They set like this real high precedent on this can that makes you think it's going to be one thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then for me, I mean, as far as an IPA goes, it really does. It feels like a basic IPA got a little bit of apple hint to it, which if you really like cider and you kind of dig IPA,
that's what I was trying to say when I was saying apple. It's got like a cider, something like that. That's what it reminded me of.
So, problem is I like it. I think it's pretty good.
It's okay. It's okay.
I just wouldn't. It's not the most memorable. It's
it kind of gives me like a Bud Light.
Yeah?
Like a weird Bud, I don't know. Like an old Bud Light or something.
Yeah, been sitting around for a long time. I'm actually going to go with a 6 on that one. I don't find it super memorable, but it is a little better than decent as far as IPAs go for me.
I would go with decent. It's a little bit better than what I was expecting.
Yeah.
So it's not bad.
I never asked this question. Normally you got some time to think about this. I apologize, but our question is, what's your favorite animal to see at a zoo?
Let me see. When I was a kid, I used to like the monkeys. Like I'd be like, where the monkeys at? You know what I mean? Yeah. But I don't know why, but an alligator is the first thing that came to my head. Like I like seeing I think I went to the Dallas Zoo and they had like a little alligator pit or something. There was like a big alligator, but he was cool. You could barely see him. He was like under or like hiding, so you couldn't really see him.
Oh, you didn't have like that view where you see him underwater and above?
No, it wasn't like that. But I guess an alligator. I'm kind of like fascinated by those things, man.
Okay. Man, I just went to the
stuff.
Fort Worth Zoo with my kids, and I'm struggling to answer this question. I want to say, like, I think the thing that trips me up the most are the African animals. I'm just surprised that, you know, they do their thing. They survive in our climate. It's not like it's different from Africa or whatnot, but
I don't think I've ever been to the Fort Worth Zoo.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, I've heard it was really cool, like the best one, but I've never been there.
I know we went to school in elementary at one point, but you may not have been there. Might have been either before your time.
I remember one time in 6th grade, I went somewhere and I got in trouble and I had to stay back in the office. I didn't get to go.
That sounds about
so it
right.
probably was that day.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You should go, man. It's nice.
I've tried to get my kids to go, my wife and stuff, but they're not really into like seeing animals locked up. You know what I mean? They're not with it. So
it's wild. I think for me the craziest thing, I could go with any African animal. I think rhinos are cool as shit, just because you probably ain't gonna see them for too much longer, except in captivity. But honestly, man, real deal hyenas. Like full-grown, adult-ass hyenas. Some of them bitches are big as like Clydesdale horses,
I don't think
man.
I've ever seen a hyena.
They're fucking... Some of them are
I've
small,
seen
like
lions.
dogs.
I've seen some huge lions, man. Then like banana hyenas.
You know who had that fucking show? Was it Joe Exotic?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. The Tiger King.
I went to his place back in the day before, I
heard it's not too far from here, right?
Yeah, it's not.
Like over by Windstar,
I want to
say,
Oklahoma, Arkansas, somewhere in there. Yeah. Oh, dude. And it was every bit as fucking wild as you'd think it would be. Like, you could walk up on bears and tigers and shit.
I was thinking of the people that were on his show had one that was next to Windstar. Like, what's the name of that little town right there?
Next to Windstar?
Yeah, where Windstar's at.
I've been there a bunch. I just can't.
I can't think of it either right now. But the guy that he was on there, him and his wife, they looked at him like they were con artists. He'd come in there with like a bandana and like old guy trying to be cool, right? He was on the show. They had property and were doing their own little tiger thing somewhere.
Oh, okay. I can't think of the names right now.
So you actually went to Joe, like the Tiger King's place?
Yeah, my fucking aunt wanted to stop off in there. We went on this road trip because of her. She asked me and my wife to go with her back in the day, and she just had it in her head, we're going to stop at this place on the way back. She saw it on the way up.
Yeah.
And like you had to sign like an agreement to potentially be on TV. They had all these like just to go in
when they were like filming their show. You remember it was if you watch the series on Netflix, they were filming their own thing. Like they were making a movie or like a documentary based on it or something like that.
We thought it was a fucking
joke. Reality show or something, yeah.
They had all these Hold Harmless. You'd go in the shop and they had like Joe Exotic thongs and they're playing his music. You know, that's not really him. It was wild. Anyway, let's
Did you
check
see him? Did you meet him?
I don't think so. We saw videos of him. Like that's what we thought was going on. Like this dude is just selling like movies out of his basement, you know, that he makes of his park or something. I had never expected this dude to show up on Netflix. Yeah. But
I never seen, I think they did like the second part of that series, but I never saw that. The first one was funny though. They
had this, there's a big tiger enclosure with stairs that go up to this big ass platform where you can look down at the tigers. I mean, you could easily push someone off or jump in or whatever, you know, but I started walking up this bitch, and it's like these. It's not. It's a plywood. Yeah. It's not even real fucking wood walking up these stairs. Yeah. Like it's a metal frame, plywood, everything. There's no fucking way I'm going up above these tigers and shit on this plywood. Yes. Hell no. Next up is a Shipyard's smashed pumpkin. So it's an ale with natural flavors. I'm gonna guess the natural flavor is pumpkin. It's 9%er. And there's a whole bunch of words on the back if you love to read.
Smash pumpkin. Does it have anything to do with the Smashing Pumpkins?
I don't know. That may be what they're playing on. I think sometimes These companies are just looking for clever names that haven't been used yet. Next question is, which celebrity deepfake are you most likely to search for? You know what a deepfake is?
No.
Okay. So a deepfake is when they take like a porno scene and they use AI to put like a celebrity's face on one of those people.
What is that called?
Deepfake.
Okay.
And it looked convincing as shit every time I've seen something like that.
So what was the question again?
Which celebrity are you most likely to search for if you were searching for something like that? You're lucky I don't make it real interesting. You're like, who did we went to school with? Would you be looking for a deep?
I don't know, man. Honestly.
This got a...
Porn is like porn, right? You can get porn anywhere, right? So it's like...
For sure.
I don't know. I can't think of like a celebrity that I just would like, I want to see that.
Well, don't sweat it yet. Let's talk about this beer. And maybe something will come to mind. It smells real funky. But if you've ever opened a can of just pumpkin, not like spiced pumpkin, but just pumpkin, that's what this smells like. I
was expecting it to have more of like a pumpkin spice type flavor, but it's not. It kind of reminds me of the first one we had.
Oh, yeah?
It kind of, I don't know.
It's a little hazy. I can see that. It's got nice carbonation on it. It looks malty. The body is like light to medium.
It's got a weird aftertaste.
Yeah. Kind of like it smells.
Yeah.
Which is weird because it's like when it's in your mouth and you're taking that swallow, that's real nice. It says it's got a bitter finish.
Yeah.
They use cinnamon and burnt sugar in here. Burnt sugar.
Yeah, no, I take that back. It doesn't really at first, I guess it's just a beer flavor, right? You can kind of taste the beer, so I was like, but no, it's different. It's a lot different from the first one. It's a little bit. I don't know. It is a little bitter. It's not what I expected it to be. Like I said, I thought it was gonna be more pumpkin spice or something like that, but
yeah.
It's the first one we had, I think, was better than this.
Okay. I'm kind of going to agree with you there, which is strange because this is usually my ballpark.
For real?
Yeah.
You like the flavored beers?
Copper orange, like slightly darker.
Yeah.
Definitely holiday vibes. Like that sort of thing I like in a lot of beers. I like them all over the map, but as far as this one goes, like it's real unique. You won't forget it. It's a little too funky is really the only word I can think to use. Like the spice note is bitter. Like it's got no garlic in it, but like when you use too much garlic in some cooking, it kind of makes it bitter. Like that same sort of thing is what's happening. I would give that one, I'm going to go with a 5 on it.
I would go with the 4. It was okay, but I definitely wouldn't ever try this again.
I feel that.
And I wouldn't recommend it because it's not.
It stands out, but it doesn't stand out.
I don't know anybody that would like it pumpkin enough, or if you like pumpkin, that'd probably be good for you. If you're into the pumpkin spice stuff, maybe, but
it's a weird one.
I don't even know how to explain that. It's different.
I have been trying for the life of me. On the different shows, it's come up a few times, like who I had this giant crush on, like celebrity-wise, when I was a kid. And we joke about one of the girls from, I can't think of her name right now. It's not Molly Ringwald. It's the other one from Dazed and Confused. Her name is eluding me, and I apologize. She was in Short Circuit. And
Dazed and Confused? What?
Oh, not Dazed and Confused. The Breakfast Club. My bad. The Breakfast Club.
I've seen that, but it's been years. I haven't seen that in a long time. Is that who you would want to see there? What was it called again?
Deep fake.
A deep fake. That's crazy because I've seen a lot of stuff, not porn stuff, but I've seen a lot of those deep fake, I guess. Is it the same name for everything? Like if you see where they put somebody's face on like another video, is it that, or is that just specifically for porn, the porn video?
Yeah, so I think the word deepfake can be used in any reference where they just replace the face with another face.
Okay.
Like even if you're just watching TV or whatnot and you put somebody's face over it, like a newscast.
I've seen some like TikToks, man, where they have like, it'll look like whoever. I forgot who it was, man.
Today was Taylor Swift.
I think I saw one with like Brad Pitt was like rapping or doing some crazy shit. You know what I mean? But I was like, that can't be. I don't know, man.
That's a tough question.
Yeah, it is a tough question because it's like, it's not real. So it's, what are you really looking for? Just somebody that looks like them?
Yeah.
So it's just like, I don't know.
Well, I think to make it work, it has to look like them, right?
Yeah.
So
I would much rather see the real.
Oh, for sure.
The real sex tape or whatever.
For sure.
Some AI generated image, I guess you could say.
I feel that. I would say like Jennifer Lawrence, I guess. I don't know why. She's gorgeous, and her sense of humor, her personality, I really dig. I don't know what it is. I'm trying to say somebody that I know now who's white, because every time we talk about this, it's not a white chick. I'm married to a white chick, you know. I don't know.
See, I'm married too, so I know who I want to say, but my wife probably be like, "Wow, for real." So, the only other person that pops in my head would be like Sofia Vergara. What's her name?
Okay. Yeah, I think that's how you say it.
Something like that. Yeah. I don't know how to say her name, man, but Vergara. I seen her a few years back. It's been a long time ago, man. I saw her for the first time. I think it was in a Tyler Perry movie.
Okay.
It's the first time I discovered her. Since then, she's blown up, right? But she was always real pretty to me, and her accent, I like that like Latina accent. It's real strong on her. It gets annoying. She's more like I've seen her. I think she was like on X Factor or one of those like America's Got Talent shows, and they'd be like, "Hey, just shut up," you know. Like it can be too much sometimes. But
so you're trying to hit it and quit it till next week.
Yeah, just be quiet.
When you hit it and quit it again.
But no, maybe her.
Thanks for the smash. I'm leaving. I'll be back.
Maybe her. That's the only thing I can think of, man.
Okay. It's interesting. I wouldn't have known deepfakes were even a thing, but I saw one day.
I've never heard of that.
It was so believable that I had to actually look it up. Next up is High Noon Sunsips Vodka and Soda.
Okay.
It's basically sparkling water, fruit juice, and vodka. It's the peach flavor.
Okay, yeah.
These things got no added sugar. There's no gluten. And
it looks like the can looks like a damn energy drink or something.
Yeah. Think seltzer.
Vodka and soda. I'm not big on flavored stuff like peach, especially. I'm not big on peach.
Oh yeah.
And mango. Like my wife loves mango flavored stuff, but I'm not big in flavors.
And for the longest time, I thought like the peach rings candy. Like in my head, I wanted to say that's like one of the best candies, and then I tried it as an adult, and I'm like, that's too fucking much.
Yeah, no.
Can't eat those.
Last time I had some of those, I think they were like edibles.
This smells like a real peach, though. Clearly, it's light.
That's got a strong peach flavor.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of tastes like a cheap wine.
Okay.
Like, I don't know. I get like a nasty cheap wine, like I don't know. Yeah, that peach is too much.
Yeah, definitely one you don't jump into if you don't love peach.
It tastes it tastes more like a carbonated peach water.
Yeah.
Than it does like a beer.
An alcoholic drink.
Yeah.
That's what makes it dangerous too, because it's not even
carbonated. It has like a carbonated water flavor.
Yes.
To me.
But it doesn't actually burn with the carbonation, so you could just
it's real
suck
peachy.
it down and it's gone.
Now, if you like peach, this might be for you, but it's too much for me. I don't like that one.
Here's another weird one. Like I said, I had no idea what we were getting into.
Yeah, I can't do that one.
It's not for you?
Not for me, man.
We're going to rate it.
Awful.
All right.
I'm going to give it a 1.
All righty.
That was awful. I could go with never having that again.
I like starting here, man, because it's a good baseline helping me understand where you're at as far as what you like and what you don't like. Question for us is, have you been attracted to someone who is at least 15 years older than you?
Cougars.
Yeah.
No, I honestly, I can't. I don't think so, man. I can't just put it off the top of my head. Somebody, maybe when I was in school, when I was like 13 and I was in Robstown, Texas, and I was going to Seal Junior High, and I had a teacher, I forgot her name. I want to say it's Miss Olvera. She probably had be about 15 years older than me at the time.
No, hold up. I got pictures. I got pictures of you in middle school in the hallway trying to get my ass in trouble because you come interrupting class. You ain't even in. So you could fuck with Miss Andrews, I think her name was. Math teacher.
Yeah.
Stacked.
Yeah.
Like she was fresh out of college or whatnot. Though.
Yeah. So, I was around the same time.
Yeah.
That was, it was right before I moved to Robstown. But I remember Miss Andrews did everybody. I forgot all about her, honestly, until you brought her up right now. She was the blonde, right?
Mm-hmm.
She was a math teacher. Yeah, I think, what were you on, 7-1?
Yeah.
I was on 7-3. We shared the same hallway.
Mm-hmm.
I remember her. I'd always go in there and mess with her, but she never, I was too scared to actually, I would just go in there and trying to be around her, talk to her.
Probably for the best.
But when I was in 7th grade, I was in Robstown, and I had a teacher. She was probably just like that, fresh out of college. She was like a Hispanic girl. I don't remember her name. I want to say it's Miss Olvera, but I don't think that's right. And she was real pretty. And I remember they used to have the old school. I told my wife that she laughed at me. They had the old school pencil sharpener.
Oh, yeah?
And I used to watch. She go there.
Your pencil was never sharp?
Yeah, she was sharpening her pencil, and we would just look at her butt, just like jiggle. So, yeah, I guess I have been attracted to somebody at least 15 years older than me. But
nice.
Nowadays, nah, I'm not. Married man, so I don't look at any women.
You said cougars earlier. These days, for us, the age we're at, it'd be 15 years older than us. Be like the gilfs, right? The grandmas.
Yeah. Back then, that was shit.
You know, I saw Miss Andrews. Shit. I don't know. Must have been like 6 years ago. I was working at CVS for a second, right? Mm-hmm. I wasn't there for long. And she came through the line. And she looked real tired and had like 3 kids hanging on her or whatnot. Mm-hmm. Still gorgeous, but I couldn't say nothing.
I can kind of like see her a little bit in my head. I remember her from back in those days, but I couldn't even. If I saw her right now, I couldn't tell you. Like I couldn't. I'm bad with faces and names, especially, but I could walk right past her and wouldn't even recognize her.
I felt stupid, man. You know. Sometimes you be wanting to tell people something. Like I had a teacher that same year, English teacher. Say her name was Miss Dediger. But we were mean. Like most of the kids were mean as hell to that teacher. Mm-hmm. I made her cry a lot. I saw her again. And I talked to her for a hot minute. You know, just about.
There's a couple teachers that
we did wrong.
We did wrong, but there was also a few that stood out to me that tried to make a difference.
Great
you know
teachers.
What I mean? Like good, like good people. And there was like a few, man, that I wish that I could talk to now. And it's not like I'd be like, look at me now, because you know what I mean? But it would just be cool because I'd be like, hey, man, you made like a difference, made an impact or something, you know? Because I there's things that you did like that was cool. Like it was appreciated, you know?
For sure.
What I mean? I remember Strickland, 8th grade science class. I had a teacher named Mr. Taglaboo. Do you know Mr. Taglaboo?
I knew him.
I think his name is Paul Taglaboo. He was our science teacher. He was cool. I remember him asking me, like, what do you want to do when you get older? And I was like, I want to be like a sound engineer. In my head, I was thinking engineering, like recording people, right? But I just didn't know what it was called. And he wanted some girl, I forgot her name. She was we had the same class together, Mr. Taglaboo's class. Her dad was an actual sound engineer and would do the sound for the Texas Rangers at the old ballpark.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he had set it up to where I could go on a weekend to go work with him. They gave me the opportunity to go work sound at the Rangers game, dude.
Nice.
And but I didn't take it up. I didn't take him up on it. So that was one thing that I was like, that probably could have put me in a whole different direction. I could have got to, I don't know. I regret not taking advantage of that.
It
you
was
know what I mean?
an odd time in life.
And at that time, I thought I knew everything. You couldn't tell me nothing. I'd rather go hang out with the homies and run around Village East and just be bad. You know what I mean? But, yeah, that's one thing I think about all the time. That was one thing. I was like, man, he really showed that, hey, he tried to do something for me. And I was like, I wish I would have took advantage of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then there's a few other teachers, but that one stands out to me. I think about him from time to time. I wonder if he's still around, still teaching. You know what I mean?
Okay.
That's cool. I got off subject. My bad.
No, I like going down the rabbit holes. I'm thinking all kinds of shit over here.
Yeah.
To ground this, the only things that I wanted to say.
I kind of want like a beer I can just drink. Like,
oh, for real? You need a side beer at this point, right?
Like and actually they were going down.
You want some
good.
more of the goddess?
Yeah, I'll take some more of that.
Look it up, man.
That one was the best one so far. Yes, sir. I kind of feel like a little tipsy. I don't know, and I've just had a few sips.
So, like,
not a big drinker.
Was it? We learned poetry before 6th grade, but I mean, Miss Richards really turned my head around there. Like, and I could say different things about pretty much any teacher we had in our elementary school.
Did she really smoke cigars?
Probably.
I don't know why, but that was like a rumor that she smoked cigars and would go in her, sit in her car at recess and would smoke a cigar. She always had bad breath. I remember that. So that's I think why they would say that. But
okay. Shit, probably.
I don't know, man. That's just what I remember.
Hadn't thought about that.
Do you remember, man, she got killed. What's her name? She was like across the hall from us, Miss... across
the hall.
Her husband was a cop.
Man, I hate
Miss Lozano.
Miss Lozano got killed?
Do you remember Miss Lozano?
Uh-huh.
She was like across the hall from us. Like it was like our class. It was like Miss Buckley. Miss Lozano was right next to her, something like that. So the crazy thing is, and you can look this up. Her husband was a cop. I remember being in 6th grade, and he would show up to bring her lunch or come visit her at work, and he'd show up with his gun. And he was a detective or something at that time. He ended up killing her in some kind of way. I don't remember the exact story, but it was probably like one of those insurance money type of thing. I don't know, but he ended up killing her, and he was convicted of killing her and went to prison for that. And I remember when I found out, I remember seeing like the story in the newspaper back in the day, Denton Record Chronicle, and I saw his picture and her picture, and I was like, what? Like, that's Miss Lozano. She wasn't our teacher specifically, but I remember I think she would do social studies. We would like transfer, like switch classes for a little bit, and we would go to her class. And she would do like history or something. Because I remember we would sit in the back of her class on the floor, and somebody had the CMC book that had the highlighted answers.
God almighty.
You remember that?
Man, it's memory lane for real.
Yeah, that was back in the day, man. But yeah, I think about her sometimes too. She was never like my homeroom teacher, but she was like one of our teachers back then, and she was killed by her husband, man. That was kind of tragic,
That is tragic. Especially considering what good people everybody was.
Yeah.
I still feel that way about almost everybody that taught us or that we went to school with. I like most of those folks.
Honestly, I don't remember nobody's name and like other than the teachers that were in our hallway, Miss Buckley, Miss Lozano, Miss Richards. I think Miss Sheldon. Was it Miss Sheldon? Shelton. I remember her. But other than that, I couldn't tell you what our music teacher's name was, what the principal's name.
Weird.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you. I remember going there and they were making us play the ukuleles.
Miss Johnson was on our hallway too.
But I couldn't remember.
Man, it's a lot to choke down. I'm going back to like elementary school kid here. I wanted to say that I felt stupid because when I saw Miss Andrews out in public, what I wanted to say, and it's probably a nice thing to say because I'm married to a teacher and she would have been receptive to it, but like, I'm sure like everyone was geeking on how she looked, you know, and probably has been her entire career, but god damn, could she teach math? I learned shit in that class that still I use every fucking day of my life, man.
She was never my teacher. I just remember like y'all were in there, so I would go in there, but I remember her voice stood out to me. She had she had the voice like, what's the name of that girl that's in Days of Confused? She was Pink's girl.
Okay, all right.
You know what I'm talking about? Though you know her voice, she's got a distinctive voice, right? Miss Andrews always reminded me of her, the way they talk.
I feel that.
I can't think of the actress's name. She's been on a lot of stuff with Ben Affleck and other movies, but her voice, she has like a distinctive voice, and Miss Andrews sounds like her to me.
I want to rate this a 6. That's me. The peach is a bit much.
You like it?
Yeah. I don't love it, but like if you're not opposed to peach and you want to get real drunk on something real fast, that's the key. I've had some other ones of these, like pineapple is the jam for me.
It tasted like carbonated water to me with a strong peach taste. It tastes like when you go buy a fountain drink and it's not enough syrup and too much carbon.
Right.
That it had something like
almost
carbonation. Yeah. It was bitter.
Oh, that CO2 in there.
Yeah, exactly. It wasn't good to me.
To answer that question though, I've definitely been attracted to someone who's at least 15 years older than I am. I do not discriminate by age. I always appreciated older people. So, I mean, even I remember being in like first grade, dude, and having a crush on our teacher's aide or something. Anyway, moving on before everything gets more messed. King Cobra, the premium malt liquor, is up next. It is 6% alcohol by volume. And you said you've seen this in stores before,
I've seen it. I've never had it, but I have seen that can. I actually thought that was like a monster or something the first time I saw it.
I feel that.
It looked like something like that. Let me kill this.
Oh yeah, do you? You got another cup too if you want to use it. There's that way you can keep your side drink.
True.
This thing only costs.
Might take over as a side drink. It looks like I have high hopes for this one.
That big bitch only costs like $1.60 or something. Hence why I picked it up.
This looks more like a beer.
Right.
You know what I mean? The other ones have like the
Keystone.
Look at this. English. Look at this one.
Yeah.
Look at the one you have over there.
It's a big difference.
It's a big difference. This one looks more like a beer.
Very light, very bubbly.
A manly beer.
Smells like American Pilsner type thing. But again, this malt liquor.
Yes.
Which means you're not going to get anything in the way of hops in this. I don't think they use preservatives in it.
It definitely tastes like malt liquor.
Yeah?
Yeah. Not a fan of malt liquor. Even though we used to drink it growing up. I was never really a fan of Old English 40s. Had bad nights on those. But yeah, you can definitely taste the malt liquor. It tastes like a cheap beer.
I hated
$2.11.
Most of the malt liquors I've had in my life, I absolutely hated. Old English, though, I swear, it grows on me and grows on me. And every time I drink against my own better whatever, I'll get drunk and I'll be thinking to myself about them Bone Thugs lyrics.
Yeah.
That Old English really don't need it. But in case my truths want to get drunk.
This is more like a traditional malt liquor. It tastes more like just like a regular malt liquor beer. I've never been a fan of malt liquor. But out of all of them, this is probably more familiar to me than anything else we've had tonight. The way it tastes, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I've been down this road before.
Yeah. Someone could not tell you it was King Cobra. It wouldn't matter.
Yeah.
But
it does have like a, what is that 211 called? That Steel Reserve.
Steel Reserve.
It tastes like
that's right. They got the numbers on the side.
It tastes like a Steel Reserve type beer.
Yeah. I'm getting like a vanilla.
Like this is the one you see the guy outside that's asking you for change. This is what he's drinking.
He's got his little 40 bag.
Yeah. Cobra. It's like the new bull. What is it? Remember the ones back in the day? It was malt liquor that had the blue bull.
Was that Pabst? Did Pabst Blue Ribbon back then?
No,
or is it Schlitz?
It was like Schlitz malt liquor or something like that, right? And it had like a blue bull on it. It reminds me of something like that.
We probably fucked that all up, and I apologize.
Yeah,
but I know what he's talking about. It's
it was
just,
like back in the day. It was like a gray can or gray bottle. It had a gray label, and it had like a big blue bull, like a Brahma bull, like some of the rock type shit.
Malt liquors come and they go, man. Yeah, I'm getting vanilla.
Like St. Ides.
It falls apart real fast for me.
I kind of like this one as my side drink, to be honest with you.
There's nothing wrong with that. Good chaser. I'm going to give it a 4, though. I wouldn't pick that up again by choice. I would drink it. Don't get me wrong. And for those confused, because 4 is what I rated Keystone when we initially covered, I do like Keystone better than this. Even though this has a real nice...
Is Keystone malt liquor?
Malt quality. No, it's
No, it's not about to say. We had plenty of crazy nights on Keystones back in the day. They used to have those 30-pack of Keystones for like $15. We had plenty of those type of nights. Yeah, I would... Let me see. This one, I would say it's decent. I'd give it a 5. It's beer.
Yeah.
It tastes like what you would expect a malt liquor beer to taste like.
It's a baseline.
Not too bad. It's beer. If you like malt liquor, beer, whatever, it's not bad. What was the question? Did you already have the question?
I didn't. I was just going to say, the only reason I went lower there is because it's got like a pleasant vanilla thing in the smell, but it tastes almost acidic, and then it kind of just falls apart. I don't really know how to explain it. Like, if I got warm, I would not want to drink that. Period. Yeah,
this was definitely something I wouldn't walk in the store and purchase for myself, but if I found myself, like, we're hanging out one day, and, hey, you want to have a beer? That's all I got.
If you want to save money.
I can definitely see us getting drunk on some cheap beer one day, and Cobra it is, you know?
Shit. We're going to put Old English next to this King Cobra.
And see the difference?
And see what comes out on top. I got a flunky.
That's classic, though. Old English is a classic beer, but to be honest with you, I never liked it.
Yeah.
I remember being 15, 16, and we were young, and a friend of mine, my boy Edgar, I don't know if you know Edgar, Edgar Esteban. He's the first one to ever turn me on to an Old English 40 ounce. And I drank it with him, and it was the grossest shit ever, but I got really drunk, you know what I mean? And had bad nights where I've got drunk on those and then would throw up and go to sleep and wake up and miss the whole party.
I feel like the first time I ever had Old English was because of Cody's older brother. Was it Keith?
Yeah.
And I swear this shit was warm. That's not a way to drink it, you know?
That's what I was going to say about this. If it was a little colder, like ice cold, fresh out of the refrigerator, out of the freezer,
it'd be better.
It's not bad, but that's how I feel. Like there's certain beers that you don't like, best way to drink it is cold. Like I'm not a fan of Modelo, and probably everybody will kill me or hate on me for that, but Modelo is disgusting.
Hey, you're in good company, sir. Modelo Negra? That's my jam. Modelo Especial. I don't see why everybody trips on.
No, at Modelo time, everybody says Modelo time, and go to parties or friends' houses, and everybody buys Modelo, and I'm just like,
it's a hype thing. It's got to be.
It's not good. It's not a good beer.
You ever had the Negra? The dark one?
No, I know what you're talking about, but I've never had it.
Pick it up next time you're out. It's actually a German recipe. I'm rehashing shit. Our question, I apologize. If you had a secret room which no one could ever enter, what would you hang on the walls? And actually, just because I'm going to stick with the Smash Pumpkin.
A secret room. Let me get some more of that King Cobra, man. Let me
do it.
If I had a secret room that no one can enter, what would I have on the walls? I'm just thinking like a private man cave that nobody could come in. So it's going to be stuff that I like on the walls, you know? Movies that I like. For one thing I want to say, your movie posters and stuff you have, dope.
Yeah.
My wife would probably never let me have something like that. You know what I mean?
I had to fight for it.
Yeah, she'd be like, what? This is not a movie theater, but those are dope. They're like nostalgic. You know what I mean? I saw the one you had, the O Brothers over here.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, that reminds me like a movie theater.
Yeah.
I would have stuff like that. Sports stuff. Rangers, of course. You know, the Cowboys, even though they disappoint me every year. I'm not big on basketball, but I would definitely have stuff like that. And I would never have like porn or nothing like that. I might have some posters, bikini, Cindy Crawford, because I used to have her on my wall when I was a kid. Cindy Crawford, Kathy Ireland, throwback. Yeah, I don't know nothing about that.
I do.
Something like that, you know. Some chicks in bikinis, maybe some lowriders. They might have some lowrider art.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So, something like that, man. I think I'm getting a little drunk as I'm talking.
Hey,
I'm opening it up, laughing and shit.
You're not the one who poured the same beer into 2 different cups. That's your boy over here. So the thing is, like, I classed it up, right? So I get away with putting up the movie posters.
Mm-hmm.
I made all the frames, look the same, and it's all hung appropriately. And actually, in our garage, that's my space that she lets me have.
Mm-hmm.
I can put anything I want out there.
Yeah.
Right? But for me, because I already have that shit, like, we're talking a secret room, can nobody go in? You make me feel like a perv because you said no porn or nothing like that. I am totally in my secret room putting up nudes of my wife.
Yeah, nobody can go in there.
You know what I mean?
For damn sure. You motherfuckers better not go in there.
They'd be super classy, but can't nobody go in there.
Oh, no, man.
Especially after the year I just had.
I couldn't even take that risk. I couldn't even take that. You break into my house and you see some shit you're not supposed to see, I'm going to have to kill you. You can't get out of there like that.
If my wife wasn't a teacher, kind of like a public figure, sometimes I wonder, because I've joked about it, mm-hmm. right? Like, especially, we've been on this cancer journey for a little over a year now.
Yeah.
I mean, if she had the double mastectomy, like, they're doing reconstruction and all that, but, mm-hmm. like, everything she had up top, it's gone, right? So sometimes I wonder, like, if you weren't a teacher, if you weren't this public figure, would this be such a big deal? Or would you be like, I'm proud of the body I used to have, you mm-hmm. know? You're not the only one getting a little drunk, like I said.
Yeah. I don't know why, but this beer reminds me of Chucky from the Rugrats. It gives me Chucky vibes.
Is it the art?
I think it's the color of the cat. It looks like the color of his shirt.
Okay.
And then the green and orange is like his shorts.
I would say you see the side of your hair. I feel you.
So I'm getting Chucky vibes from Rugrats on with that beer. Yeah, like right now I'm working on my little man cave. So I have a house here.
I still haven't been to your crib. We need to fix that.
Yeah, we definitely need to hang out sometime, man. I want to bring you by the studio.
Well, I know, and we've talked about it.
I want to bring you by I no longer have the den, but I'm working out of Sessions Recording Studio. That's what it's called. Shout out to Gitmo, my boy Trouble. If you need studio time, hit me up. But that's what I'm working out of right now.
Award winners, by the way.
Yeah. Best in Did 2022, 2023.
Correct.
So if you need studio time, man, get at us, man. We just did. I did my first show like in 4 years, man.
Yeah, I meant to ask you.
Had rubber gloves.
I saw you post about it, but
I was nervous. I didn't even want to do it. I didn't even want to do it, man. It's been a while. Even though I've done hundreds of shows, probably, man. I used to do like maybe 2 or 3 a month.
Yep.
And we're just doing them, and I've even done 2 or 3 shows in a day. Like literally gone from venue to venue on Cinco de Mayo. Cinco de Mayo used to be like my busiest day. I would get double booked, triple booked to do different shows. And
you feel like people are gonna know, like you step up there and they're gonna be like, "Look at this poser, he ain't been on stage."
Yeah, no, it was just more. It's me, man. It's just me, like being nervous, man. Just because I haven't done it in a while, I feel like I was rusty. Once I'm not gonna lie, I got drunk. That was the last time I got drunk. But I had to get drunk to kill the nerves, man. I got up there, and my brother-in-law, shout out to Baines, kicked it off, got me a couple shots, and then I probably had like 7 Dos Equis that night.
And rapped.
And got up there and rapped. I was slurring by the time I got on stage, but it definitely helped. You know what I mean? That's the last time I got drunk. Yeah, once you get up there and you start doing it, it's nothing, man. It just comes back to you. But I've always been like that. Always been like that. Before any show, any event that I'm doing, I'm nervous. Butterflies in my stomach. I just want to get it over with. I don't know why. It's just how I am. It bugs me. But what was I saying anyway? I started talking about the damn studio and recording, and Yeah, we need to hang out though.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's what we're, yeah. So, I just got a place out here and didn't been there for a while. I have like a shed. I'm turning it into like my man cave. Slowly but surely, I just cleaned it out and started adding decorations, decor, and stuff. And it's just too cold, man. We've been having this Arctic blast, and
it's ridiculous.
I have that little space heater out there, but it's too cold to be out there right now, man. But springtime, it's my time. You know what I mean? But definitely, are you into UFC, boxing, stuff like that? I'm a big combat sports fan, man.
You already had me over here thinking about Billy Fuller. Now I'm thinking about him even more. Right, like, because
Fuller.
We used to go to his crib to watch the fights.
But that was WWE.
I know it was.
Yeah.
I know it was different.
But that was the shit back in the day. But back then I wasn't into like the fights and stuff. I was into like wrestling.
Yeah.
And bringing up Billy Fuller, he was like super into wrestling. And I remember going to his house and watching like the Royal Rumbles, and he had them all recorded, all old ones and stuff. You can go in there and he knew everything about wrestling, man. But he was a diehard fan. Like, he couldn't go in there talking shit about wrestling, saying, it's fake. He didn't hit him. Because Billy would be like, hey, you need to go home.
Actually, yeah.
He'd be like, hey, if you're going to be talking that shit, then go home. But
one thing I loved about that dude is when he decided he didn't like somebody, he didn't like them. And that was it. The reason I brought him up is we went to, it was like a karaoke show. Mm-hmm. Way out in the country. Our friend Joel, I should say, me and Billy's. He does karaoke. Mm-hmm. He got hired on for this wedding, but there was a wedding party happening way out in the woods, like the sticks in Oklahoma. Yeah. And we went to help. I think our friend D was with us too.
Recently?
Half a lifetime ago, man. It's been a minute. I think Billy lives in Montana right now.
No shit.
With his wife and kids, yeah.
Last I heard, he was living in Sanger.
We stopped talking for a while. We did back in the day too, but we were close for a minute. But I got family that lives in Idaho, right next door to where he's at. So I'm thinking about stopping through next time I'm up there. But we're out there, we're drunk, right? And I remembered because the wedding party kept trying to tell us to karaoke some shit. Mm-hmm. And I was joking about how back on the school bus, we would do like certain raps, certain battle raps. We'd go back and forth. We did this shit at Friday Night Live and everything too. It didn't go down like that.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember you, man, back in the days when that Busy Bone Thugs and Harmony. I remember Cody's mom was like just impressed by you, man. Like, how does he do that? You know what I mean?
It's only because I was white. Let's be real.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Can I vape in here?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Let me see. That may have had something to do with it, but at the same time, nobody fucking knew what Busy Bone was saying back then. It just sounded cool as shit. His cadences, his melodies. But you broke that shit down and you were like, the white kid, of course, right? But you were in there rapping your ass off and you knew every fucking word. Well, and you would break it down and slow it down for a motherfucker to like...
I felt kinship because, he was the lightest member.
Yeah.
Or whatnot, but Billy didn't believe that I could do Twista's verse from Pope Pimp. That last verse. I was slurring like fuck, and for some reason
Pope Pimp used to be our shit.
I know. And we're going through, right? So I realized early on in the song that I'm slurring. We're kinda doing this together, me and Billy are. And I realize I'm slurring and I'm worried about it. And then I realize I'm out in the middle of fucking nowhere and I'm drunk with these country folks who probably never heard this song before. They don't know what the fuck's happening. And it worked. To come way back around.
I remember. Do you remember we were like in 7th grade, man? We were in theater arts, and a Pope Pimp song had just came out, and Ishmael. You remember Ishmael?
I do remember Ishmael.
Ishmael Rivera, that's my boy, man.
I think I still got fucking.
I still see him around.
Life scar on my arm.
I see him.
Ishmael.
I see him from time to time, man. He had the Pope Pimp old school. He had it on cassette. It was a single. It had like the original Pope Pimp, Still Pope Pimpin' or something like that. It had and we wanted them. We were in theater arts and they wanted us to put like a play together. So they wanted us to do something. And I remember we were trying to build our whole performance around the Pope Pimp song. I don't remember what we did no more, but I remember that was our whole idea. We're gonna play this and we're gonna walk out. But we were thinking big, like fucking fog machines and stuff, but we didn't have any of that.
Nice.
But I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember Pope Pimp was our shit.
Because that was right when like Still Pope Pimpin' came out.
What was his name? The theater teacher, Mr. Everett.
That was 7th grade, right?
It was downstairs.
The dude who, where the cafeteria used to be. He made us watch all the movies.
Yeah, we watched Little House of Horrors.
George of the Jungle, Romeo and Juliet, and I'm probably missing one, but like, is it Stuart?
Little Shop of Horrors.
Yeah,
my bad. I said Little House of Horrors.
That's what I was thinking for some reason.
Little Shop of Horrors with the Feed Me Seymour.
Yeah,
I remember watching that in his class. Man, I can't remember his name, but he was our theater arts teacher back then, 7th grade.
I can't remember.
It was me, you, Marcos was in there.
Was he for real?
Marcos was in there because Marcos used to come in and he was gang banging.
I thought he was in my art class for some reason.
But he was in there with us, me, you, Ishmael, Marcos. I remember we're all in there hanging out. And then we had Miss Gossett.
8th grade, right?
I
Where we were right
grade.
next to the auditorium.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, those were the days, man. It was a fun time.
Before it's all warm, and we tell y'all an entire life story. Not that I'm upset about it, because
my bad.
I didn't. No, I like it.
Every time we get together, though, I start thinking about school and shit, like the shit we used to do, all the memories. You know what I mean? And that was like a fun time, man. That was a real fun time in my life, man. Being like 13, 14 years old, and we're like just coming into our own, like finding ourselves, and it was just fun, man. I think about those times a lot, and it's just I think about all the people we went to school with, and you know,
it was a great time to do it too.
Yeah, it was cool,
we had roller like skating rinks.
Yeah, that was before the internet and
all the shit is gone now,
and social media. That was before all that.
Like it was there if you had
back
money.
in the day, like if you wanted to hang out with your friends, you went to the mall on Friday and just walked around all day.
Dude.
And you might have a few dollars to get you a soda at the candy store, something like that. But
if you had a 20, you could play at the arcade for an hour. You could go watch a movie.
Yep, they had the dollar movies and stuff.
Still buy something out of like Sam Goody
you
or
walk across the
Hot
street
Topic
and go
or
to
something.
Wendy's and get you a burger if we got down to it. The old pizza spot.
It was cool for a minute too because Lena lived across from the mall back behind Hastings.
Yeah, don't bring.
Y'all lived there.
I'm just kidding.
Right?
Yeah.
You lived there at some point with Adam.
No, I wasn't living there. That I was just hanging out. That day you came over, I didn't live there.
Sorry, Adam. I didn't realize I was just crashing your house.
Adam and Marcos lived there. They were roommates. Marcos and Adam lived there. And Yankee. You know Yankee?
Mm-mm. You got a real
Yankee,
name?
Man, what's his fucking real name? I can't think of it right now, man.
Okay, don't worry about it.
But Yankee, Adam Bice, and motherfucking Marcos lived in that house, man. And that was one of the first times I had seen you in like some years. I remember you came by and you played the guitar and shit. We hung out for a little bit. Yeah.
Rap I didn't live. Been a better way to go at that point.
I didn't live there, but I was always there. So shit, I pretty much, man.
What's weird is Adam and I grew up in the same trailer park, but we did not have that connection that held at all.
So I knew Adam from I think Hodge.
Yeah.
He went to school with us in elementary. Me and Adam reconnected a few years after school through Marcos.
Makes sense.
I don't know how him and Marcos met or how they became close. But you know, when we were already older, I think I was already 18. We weren't even in high school no more. And Marcos was like, hey, I'm staying out here in these trailers with my boy Adam. He kept saying my boy Adam. I show up one day to go hang out with him, and it's Adam fucking Bice. You know what I mean? And I was like, bro, I know this. You know what I mean? And from there, we just became cool. And after they had that apartment, me, Adam, and Marcos and stuff had our own house here in town too. We were roommates for a while. You know what I mean?
You got to quit bringing Marcos up, because I'm fucking jealous of him right now.
Why is that?
You don't know, because he looks happy as shit.
Yeah.
And he ain't here. You know what I mean? He's down south. Sam Adams Golden Pilsner's up next. This is 5%. It says it's lightly hot.
I feel like I'm just rambling. I'm talking about it.
No, man. I just move it forward. I could sit here and have this conversation all night because I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying myself. I hope you don't get the wrong idea.
No, it's all good. I just know I'm feeling pretty good already with the little bit of beer that I've had. And I'm starting to open up, loosen up, talk a little bit. So excuse me if I'm doing too much. You know what I mean?
You don't have to apologize. Not
in this house. Are we going on to this one right here?
Yeah.
Okay, let me get some of this.
Question will be, what do you think of as the purpose of your life?
That's a deep question.
Yeah, we had like 3 creepy questions. Something about a zoo, and now we're talking about the purpose of life.
My purpose in life? I don't know, man. I've asked myself that a few times, you know, like a lot. Like, what am I here? You know, everybody says, you know, you're here for a reason. I've had some crazy, messed up stuff happen to me or could have happened to me, and I was able to get by certain situations with not a lot, with minor scratches, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. I used to think when I was younger, my purpose is like, oh, I'm here to do music and this and that. And then just like, now over time, it's just like, maybe my purpose is to be here and to be here for my family. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have to think of this greater purpose in life. It's like, man, I'm just here to take care of my family and do what I'm supposed to do and be the best me and grow from all the dumb, stupid shit that we've been through, you know? So I think, when I think about that, it's like, I don't know if I have a higher purpose, but I know like as long as I keep just trying to do right by my family, then that's really all that matters, man.
I mean, you kind of took the words out of my head. The weird thing about life is where you are.
Yeah.
Where you are at a given time. Like, I could close my eyes and I am that 13-year-old kid at Village East smoking fucking Black and Milds that have been hit with what they put on it,
fucking syrup,
cold medicine.
Yeah, fucking
Nyquil. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
cough syrup.
Like, I could be there in my head in a heartbeat, and I think back then I had no idea about purpose. I didn't give a fuck. All I ever thought of myself as was this fat kid who tries to be nice to people, right?
Yeah.
That's how I saw myself. And then for a long time, I was trying to make a difference in the world. And I think...
That's good, because that... I don't mean to cut you off.
No.
So, I mean, but to me, that's a good thing, right? Like, you were always been a nice person, a cool person, and, man, you showed me a lot of stuff. You know what I mean? And, maybe that was your purpose, you know what I mean? Like you said, to just spread that happiness and I don't know, to be a good person, be a good friend to people. You know what I mean?
Well, in 100 years, we'll all be dead. We'll be buried. You know, 1,000 years, probably no one even remembers who we are. You know, our lives don't really seem to make any difference, but if I can know while I'm here that I'm enjoying my life and that I'm trying to make it better, like you said, for family, for anyone who gets to live here beyond when I'm here, I like to think of that as purpose. And I think where people mess up and they get real depressed is they think that it has to be this giant difference. It really doesn't. Like, even little things make a difference. You don't see it, but just keep living and enjoying your life and trying to make a difference. And little things count. They count a lot more than you think.
Yeah.
It's like when you try to get anything done. If you try to think about like the end result of building a house, you're never going to fucking build a house. You have to start with like, okay, today we're going to put, you know, the foundation down.
Yeah. I was going to say, you got to start with the floor.
You know what I mean? And then the frame goes up. Like, you have to do it one little piece at a time, one little nail at a time.
And it'll come together.
And try not to think about it.
Yeah.
That's 95% of the shit we worry about or get anxiety about, get nervous about. None of that fucking matters.
It doesn't. I think that was one thing just growing up. And even now, I try to tell myself, it's like certain things, she's like, man, it's not that serious. Just let it go.
Yeah.
Like, I might stress myself out about something or worry about something or get mad about something. Then it's just like, at the end of the day, I'm the only one that feels like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm like, Nobody's worried about that. I'm like worried about stupid little things, and there's so much more going on in this world than to be thinking about the dumb little things that are, like you said, are really not even important. But
I'm gonna get stressed out at the barbecue because someone cut me off in traffic, or I'm gonna have a bad day at work because everybody's gonna know I didn't take a shower. Nobody gives a fuck. You know what I mean? Like nobody's paying attention. Just
you just gotta be careful with those road rage incidents.
You do. Have you seen Beef?
Man, no, I haven't. Beef? I recently had a road rage incident where a guy was with my wife and my daughter, and he tried to cut me off. I cut him off, being an asshole, and next thing you know, he's threatening me with a gun, right? And it was just like, wow, that went from just a stupid decision I made to it could have really turned bad. Like that. And then I was just like, me just being hard-headed, it bugged me for a little bit because I felt like I kind of like backed down, right? And I was tough guy. I was like, you don't back down from nobody. But at the same time, it's like, dude, you don't put your fucking family in harm's way. You know what I mean? It's like, at the end of the day, you can call me a punk all you want, but my family's still here.
Yeah, they're gonna make you do funny things, and if you got people you love involved,
it's not worth it. Man.
No.
So chill out with all that road rage stuff, man. So make it home to your family. Be there for your family, man.
CeeLo talking at one point in one of his raps about how he'd give up the car. Like somebody trying to carjack him, he's going to give it up.
You can have that,
he's
motherfucker.
Like, it worth my life.
Hell no. Thank God I've never been in a situation where somebody robbed me. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, God forbid something like that happened. It'd be like, dude, it's not worth it. Take it.
Yeah.
Take whatever you want, man. It's just go on about your business. You know what I mean?
I do. So this beer, by the way, while we're here, it's
the reason why we're here.
It's warmed pretty significantly, but it's more my flavor than other people's.
It's okay. It's definitely not the worst one we had tonight. It does have like a weird little aftertaste. I don't know. It's kind of like a strong. I don't know what's in this, if it's made with hops or what, but it's got like a weird, funny.
It says it's slightly
herbal type taste or something to it, so it's kind of strong.
You're getting those pungent oils. Yeah. It's like light skunk weed. It's got a little bit of like citrus to it.
I've had Sam Adams before, but I don't know which one I've had.
They have hundreds.
A bunch of them, right? So I've had Sam Adams before, but the Golden Pilsner, I don't know. It's definitely not something it's not bad, but it's definitely not something I'd pick up a 6-pack and sip on it just because it tastes a little funny.
So what you rating
it? It's decent. It's not bad. I'd give it a 5. It's decent.
All right. So me,
cleaning the shit out of my cup here.
I'm gonna go 7 on this one. Now, I think most of that is owed to the fact that it's been sitting there for so long, so it's gotten warm.
Yeah, maybe if it was a little colder, my rating would have been a little different, but it definitely, I think the aftertaste is what did it for me. It has like a funny taste after. The initial drink is not bad, but then you get that the flavor or whatever it is, and then.
I'm used to warm beers, so
yeah, I don't like warm beer. I can't do warm beer.
I danced all around that question, by the way. What I think of as the purpose of my life. These days, I think, like most people, I think of kids, your family, what you're leaving behind, trying to do right by these people in the world.
Yeah.
But also, one of the big things in my life for a long time, and I've got one novel out there. I'm trying to get the other ones out. It's been hard. It's been really hard to find the time to write and the energy. And I want to be in the right place because I want to do this justice. Because so much of what goes into those novels, I refer to it in my head as a book of ghosts. By which I start out meaning that like every dead person I know, I name and I try to do justice to them in these books somehow. But also is incorporated like all of my favorite personalities, my favorite people that I met throughout my life. And wanted to make sure there's some sort of like chronicle where folks can experience the people that I've loved the most throughout my life firsthand. Because people get real connected to book characters, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's a big deal to me, is finishing my Broadwater novel series someday. It's not today. Anyway, leaving something behind, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Now, our final beer, unless you had something you wanted to add. If not, you good.
Nah, I don't know what I was thinking. I'm kind of drunk over here.
That's good.
I'm kind of drunk, man, so I'm just trying to be cool.
All right, well, you kind of liked this one.
Yeah.
So now I'm a little worried, now that I know you don't like fruity stuff. This is an actual beer. Prairie, Blueberry Boyfriend, they make real expensive beers. Mm-hmm. And this is a sour ale. And I'm going to guess it's got some blueberries in it.
I've been wanting to look at this can the whole time. This is the one that reminded me of Chucky.
The front remind me of something from Ronald McDonald. What's the blue dude? I can't think of his name. Grimace? Is that I'm thinking of the wrong person.
I think that's what you're talking about. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. It looks like the damn Bob's Burgers characters or something on here. Uh-oh. Ooh. It's got a little rosé type of look.
It really does.
All right.
Like the color, the carbonation, it's all correct. So blueberries and lemon zest, and it is, I hate when they hide the alcohol, 5.4%. Can you read that question for me? Since you're way down there.
Okay, I got you. My wife told me they might ask you to read something, and I didn't think so.
He didn't know what he was in for.
She said I might sound like I'm in CMC. What's the next mystery of the universe which you think will be solved?
We got deep toward the end.
I kind of like that question. What's the next mystery of the universe which you think will be solved? You go first on this one.
Okay.
Let me taste this beer.
Whew. You don't look impressed.
No, not at all. It's definitely not as bad as the peach, but it tastes like old fruit.
Yeah. Like a really mild warhead.
Yeah.
Like it's old fruit. So what I like about it is blueberry stuff tends to be way overpowered. And the lemon zest kind of helps the blueberry, but it's a weird combination.
It does have like a citrusy something. I don't know.
That's what
it
the can
smells.
says.
I don't like the way it smells.
It smells like a sour. It's like
it smells like fruit preservatives. Like if you open up a can of like fruit, like can't mix fruit, like a fruit cocktail.
Yep.
It smells like something like that. But it also reminds me like a wine, like a cheap wine or something. But
and remind me never to make you some homemade wine.
I'm not a wine drinker. I'm not into champagne and wine. I've had it before. I'm not a fan of it.
I'm not a fan of champagne if it makes you feel better. I like a lot of dark wines. I don't like champagne.
It's what it tastes like to me. Like when you drink, like I've had Moet before.
Yeah.
And it tastes like old apples or something like that. You know what I mean? That's what it tastes like.
That is so true. Old ass apples. Oh, sorry. Fuck, damn
it tastes like, I've never had Pruno, which is like the liquor they make in jail. Mm-hmm. But I would think it would taste something like this, like some old apple preserved, some shit they had brewing under the bunk.
I think what's coming away from this is that I'm pretty sure they use champagne yeast to make this ale.
It tastes like a champagne or something, right?
Yeah, it's got a very tart.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's just the lemon zest. Sometimes blueberries, you eat a bunch of them, it does have like that grape, like cloying in your mouth sort of thing.
I don't think I've ever eaten enough blueberries to say that. You know, I've had like some fruit. I like fruit, but I'm not big into blueberries, strawberries, stuff like that, raspberries. It reminds me like an old champagne or something like that.
You have to really be into sour stuff, lightly sour stuff. Blueberries, lemon zest, and champagne. to love this. I don't know, man. I'm going to be nice and say 5.
I would rate this up there with not the first one, but this one.
You're awful?
It's awful. It's like forgettable, man. Actually, I don't know. I would say forgettable. I don't know. It's not something I would ever try again. It's not awful, but it's not good either.
See, it's the words that mess a lot of people up.
Yeah.
Because you're not sure if you're supposed to assign a number or a word. Like,
yeah. If you're rating it from 1 to 10, I'd give this like a 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm actually in complete agreement. But I hate the word forgettable because I wouldn't say it's forgettable. So I think the next mystery that's going to be solved is what exactly goes on inside of a black hole. I don't know why I think that's the thing. Our society focuses so much on it that I'm afraid that's where all the attention goes.
Yeah. What
I hope is the next mystery of the universe that's solved is what exactly is consciousness. That's one of those things I don't actually think will ever be solved. But I would love to know, because I have my suspicions about the connectedness of consciousness, how we're all just kind of, I'm getting way stupid out on a limb here, but I think we're all kind of connected to the same thing. Like we're all part of the same mind. We're just experiencing it from different places and different vehicles.
That's cool. I never looked at it like that. I understand what you're saying, though.
Sorry for going.
I had something to add to that, but I can't think of the word I was trying to say.
Okay.
But what I think, what I'm surprised you didn't say, was aliens.
Oh, yeah.
Lately, that's been all over the news. I don't know what happened in Miami. Have you heard about the mall or something that happened in Miami? And lately, there's been a lot of supposed sightings of UFOs, UFO activity. And then that thing that happened in Miami. I don't even know. It's just been so kept undercover. Like people aren't talking about it, right? Yeah. And nowadays you can't believe nothing you see on the internet. You see all these crazy videos. Oh, we saw this and we saw that, and it's like you don't know if they're paid actors, if they're just bullshitting, trying to pull your leg. And it's like I'm one of those people that I have to see it to believe it, and I can't see it on video no more because with AI they can do anything.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So it's like in order for me to really believe some shit, it's gonna have to be undeniable proof. You know what I mean? But I think we're getting to a place in time where a lot of things are being released to the public. A lot of things are getting to a point where you can't deny certain things. I haven't experienced that yet, but I'm saying I think that would be the biggest mystery. And a lot of people say it's not even a mystery, correct? Because how can we be the only living creatures or whatever you want to call us in the whole universe? But I've always believed in aliens, but it's always been mythical, right? Like it's something that possibly could be going on in the world. Nobody ever knew for sure.
Now you're speaking my language.
But at the same time, it's like I've always been intrigued by that shit. And it's like, if you think about it, it's like we can't be the only people in this universe. And I feel like we're getting towards a place in time where maybe something big is going to happen. Another world war, nuclear fucking explosion or whatever you want to call it. Like something's going to happen, man, or something can happen where something like that's going to happen where we can't deny it or you know what I mean? Something's going to happen. Like you hear all these cases about where was it in Chernobyl or whatever, where they had the nuclear meltdown. Mm-hmm. And there's stories of orb coming into the area and it beamed the light in the area. And after that happened, the radiation levels dropped dramatically. And they always say that type of stuff happens, the sightings and stuff happen when there's crazy shit going on, like nuclear bombs or energy, whatever you want to call it, So it's just I feel like that's the thing, man. That right now, everybody is curious and I don't want to say awake, you know what I mean, or woke. But, nowadays it's much easier to get information, but it's also easier to get misinformation.
You hit the nail on the head there.
I don't know. It's kind of like I would have to see it for myself. I'm going to have to step outside my fucking front yard and see something flying there that I can't deny and it can't be explained for me to believe it.
Even that, I don't know I could trust.
Yeah.
Because I don't know that I trust.
There's so much shit with these damn drones and fucking holograms, and there's so much technology, man. I've seen like little shit sometimes where it's like fucking just basic 3D imaging and lasers, and they can do shit that just looks crazy out of this world. So it's just like, if they have technology to do certain things, it's like, imagine all the shit that's going on that we don't know about. You know what I mean? So I don't know, I'm just kind of rambling, but that's what I feel like is the next thing that's going to be unveiled. Something crazy is going to happen. They're going to have some proof where you can't deny it no more. And I don't know. That's what I'm thinking.
Man, even if I saw it with my own eyes, I got one of those brains that has a tendency to hallucinate shit. So I don't know. I don't know that I can believe it without like verification from. But one of the things that you said a long time ago when this was late night that stuck with me, you used to talk about shadow people in like the corners of your eyes and shit, right? Like people that were there that you could never really see. Mm-hmm. Like you try to catch a glimpse of them because you knew they were there, but you couldn't actually see them. I don't know why I brought that up, but I think what I used to dismiss the alien stuff a lot because, I mean, if there's proof that people would do most anything to get it out there and things are going to slip through the cracks. And I've seen a lot of scientist rebuttals to certain things that are, they have committee meetings. It's just because people want answers they think they're not getting. Mm-hmm. And a lot of this footage that gets leaked, it's like birds, scientists that don't understand, that the public doesn't understand what they're seeing. But lately, I've begun to realize that we've been transmitting signal, radio signal, all that stuff for long enough that
we could be getting answers or responses.
Exactly. So I think the likelihood just increases over time that, somebody comes here.
Yeah, there's just so much stuff. Like another thing is like time travel. Mm-hmm. I don't think that's like a mystery of it kind of is a mystery of the universe, right? But I think a lot of that has to do with aliens, space, the universe, you know what I mean? So it's like, at the same time, it's interdimensional. Mm-hmm. Like all these dimensions and different realities. And there's so much that comes into play when you think about this type of stuff, right? But it's like, whatever it is, if it is interdimensional beings or whatever, then I think that's still just as important. It's still just as cool.
Oh yeah,
as aliens, like life in another planet. But you always see stuff like I just saw the other day that they found a new planet that has like a magnetic field around it, like the Earth, and it can sustain life. I saw something like that, but I'm like, is that true? Is that even true, or is that just some shit people are assuming?
Trying to grab headlines.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Clickbait.
Well, I like to keep in mind that, we can find answers to certain things at this point. Like we've discovered a lot. Like we can make lights now with electricity. We can figure out computing, and AI technology is becoming a big thing. But just to think about the sheer amount of things that we don't know is quite humbling. And I like to stay there.
Yeah. It's crazy, man. There's so much stuff that they can do. AI changed the game. It changed the world. And I think it's like now you can, like I said, you just can't believe everything you see. You can't believe everything you hear. Like you see it every day on social media. There's nothing but like fake ads, fake voices. You see these ads where they're trying to tell you about a subsidy loan, and they have Steve Harvey or Donald Trump trying to tell you to go apply for this money, and it's just like you can't believe nothing you hear.
And think about how you consume stuff now. You don't consume it necessarily on the recommendation of friends. Like I post a lot of videos to TikTok. Mm-hmm. I'm completely at the whim of an algorithm. Does it want to show my videos to people or does it not? It could show them to 10,000 people, and I know what my like ratio would be, and it's above average, right? Yeah. But they don't. That's completely... Like, when you're consuming this stuff, you're flipping. Like, you're not really making a conscious decision. You're just taking what's given to you. Yeah. And you're trying to pick out the little pieces that you like in hopes that it keeps giving you stuff like that. Like, it's such a strange system. It's not the world that we grew up in. Mm-hmm. We are
completely different,
almost completely dependent on AI. Like, so many movies you watch nowadays, it's not necessarily because someone told you it was good.
Yeah.
And usually when they told you it was good, it's because it was being shoved down their throats. I know commercials used to do that just back in the days. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, everybody has a song that they can't stand, but they probably know every fucking word to it. And that's just because everything that you're being fed. So it's like nowadays you have to try to filter and sift through all the bullshit that's information that's being, fed to you. And you kind of just have to make your own opinions and assumptions or whatever based on what's out there. But at the same time, you have to be very careful because you could be being misled, Like, I find myself, I get on these, like, little, I guess you could call it a little rabbit hole, right? Like, I start seeing these videos of people talking about flat earth or secret places and giants. That's kind of crazy. Like, the giants, supposedly, they find these rock formations all over the world that look like human bodies.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I don't know what to even think about that, but it's crazy. And it's like, if a lot of this stuff was true, why is it just now coming out? Why is it just now they're having evidence or whatever you want to call it? So I don't know. There's a lot of misinformation, a lot of bullshit on the internet, and you just have to be careful. But one thing I can say, maybe a lot of people can agree on, is aliens. That's probably the one of the realest things that AI can affect, but at the same time, with some hard evidence, there's no denying it. We just need a green motherfucker, gray motherfucker, come out and tell us what you want, tell us you're here, show us some crazy shit, advance our technology, do some shit we've never seen before. And
if they can come to us, it's not like we can go to them. Yeah. So certainly they're more advanced than we are. And can show us anything they want to.
It's like, if they are aliens out here, man, we're like we're like ants in a fucking ant farm. And they're just making sure we don't fucking destroy the farm or whatever.
It may not even be that different. I mean, they may just be like a few steps ahead of us and they're just trying to help us out. Or they could be looking to completely deplete our resources. And
it's crazy because we call them aliens, but maybe they're not even aliens. Maybe they're from here. You know what I mean? It's like there's so many ways to look at it, because you see there's all these stories and myths and stuff about, like, past fucking civilizations that were on Earth that were probably way more advanced than us at some point. And with all the stuff that's happened with the dinosaurs and stuff like that, the world's restarted a few times. And it's like, maybe, like they say, like, what happened to, like, the Mayans or certain cultures that have just disappeared, right? Mm-hmm. And it's like, how do you know that these people didn't have the technology to leave this place?
Yeah.
And so when they're coming back and we're thinking they're aliens, they're just us. You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe I'm getting too deep in it, but
maybe
I'm getting too deep, man. But that's how it feels. Like, nowadays you can't believe anything, and it could be anything.
I'll agree with that. So I think you've topped me with the alien thing, and that's a good place for us to wrap this up. I appreciate you being on.
No problem. Appreciate you having me.
It's always a pleasure.
Gotta take a piss.
Definitely do that. Help us keep the convo going by sharing the video. We'll see you next time for another round at the Banter Bar.
Yes, sir.
Farewell, beer snobs.
I'll just leave you a little sip in case you want to go back.
I appreciate the sip. Quite a bit of this.
I just want to see how it feels in my mouth.
I guess we'll see you next time
on the Banter Bar.